forgot to grope you goodbye.
Did you know Bart almost became the biggest trader in Springfield? Because of a girl? In this wild episode of The Simpsons, it all starts with a simple trip to the movies, but quickly spirals into chaos with jealousy, fights, secret kisses, and even a mall security chase. And the worst part? Homer gets hooked on a TV show and completely forgets about real life. Stick around till the end because this episode has one of the most unbelievable and hilarious moments in the whole series. It starts with Homer taking Bart and Milhouse to the movies. After buying the tickets and leaving them in line, he heads to the food court. On his way out, Homer starts feeling sick and ends up going into a fitness equipment store. There, he gets talked into buying a high-tech treadmill with a built-in TV and motivational programs to make him run. He gets discouraged when he sees the price, but the salesman makes him a new offer, and Homer ends up buying it. After the movie, Bart runs into the bullies, who sarcastically ask how the movie was. He gives a sarcastic answer back, but then Milhouse shows up all decked out in movie merch, and they start laughing at him. Dolph suggests they watch a horror remake, and Shauna tells her boyfriend Jimbo not to count on her. Jimbo says they need to watch horror movies so they know what to do in dangerous situations. Shauna still refuses, so Jimbo decides to find someone else for her to go with, someone who's no threat. He looks at Milhouse, but Shauna says no. She doesn't want someone embarrassing. So she picks Bart, and Jimbo starts sizing him up. After threatening him, he lets Shauna go with Bart to the movie. Shauna leaves before the movie ends. They head to a food cart, where the vendor flirts with her. Bart threatens the guy, revealing who her boyfriend is, and the vendor quickly backs off. Bart argues with Shauna, telling her not to even think about cheating on Jimbo. She says Jimbo doesn't even care. He didn't notice the braid she put in her hair. She shows it to Bart, and his comment surprises her. They're talking when the bullies show up again. Homer also appears, carrying his new treadmill to pick up Bart. Before leaving, Jimbo grabs Bart by the shirt and tells him that the next day he'll be taking his girlfriend out again, since he's got other plans. Shauna hugs Bart and says they'll find something to do. In another scene, Homer's using the treadmill when Lisa shows him he can stream TV wirelessly. He quickly becomes obsessed with an old show while running. When the first episode ends, he sets up a chair on top of the treadmill to watch more comfortably. On a date with Shauna, they're browsing stuff in a store. She grabs something and puts it in her bag, pulling Bart to leave fast. As they pass through the door, the alarm goes off and a security guard stops them to check the bag. Bart remembers Jimbo's threat and takes the blame. The guard takes him. Shauna waits until Bart creates a distraction and escapes with him. They run off and Shauna takes him to an abandoned store. There, she thanks him by lifting her shirt and then kisses him on the cheek, leaving him dazed before walking away. At dinner, Bart is still stunned. Marge says he hasn't touched his food, and Grandpa offers him chicken breast. Bart snaps, asking if no one realizes he's just a kid. When Marge shows him dessert, he rejects it too, because of the shape of the cookies. During dinner, Homer goes back to the treadmill. Marge says that despite all the exercise, he's still the same. Homer's dad says not to believe anything Homer says. His first word was lie. He remembers baby Homer blaming Mom when asked who drew on the wall. In the basement, Homer's still watching the show while sitting on the treadmill. Marge shows up and argues with him for using an expensive machine just to watch TV. She reminds him that back when the show originally aired, she invited him to watch it and he refused. Homer tries to explain, but Marge gives him an ultimatum: run or return it. They argue until Marge storms out, leaving Homer alone. If this made you laugh even just a little, come on, smash that like button, buddy. Bart is alone when the bullies, led by Jimbo, show up. Jimbo compliments Bart for taking good care of his girlfriend. They say goodbye with a kiss, and Jimbo leaves Shauna with Bart. She asks what he wants to do, and he says he feels like pushing her into a puddle and running off. But she says she has to stay loyal to Jimbo. He bought her a bunch of gum. Bart says she deserves someone better. She lights up at that and asks him out. But then Jimbo comes back and, while kissing Shauna, she gently strokes Bart's hair. Back at home, Homer is still glued to the show, waiting for the next episode to answer his questions. Marge walks in all dressed up and tells him everyone went out and Maggie's asleep. Homer gets excited but asks her to wait 104 more hours. She's frustrated by his lack of interest and slams the door on her way out. Homer wonders why she's mad, and even after she tells him, he just keeps watching. Bart and Shauna start doing all kinds of things together like a real couple. In one scene, they're kissing in the pool when Jimbo shows up and grabs Bart, accusing him of being disrespectful. Bart says it's hard to respect someone who wears a wool beanie to the pool. Jimbo takes off the beanie, revealing he's bald on top. Bart laughs and mocks him. The bullies hold Bart so Jimbo can punch him, but the lifeguard steps in and says roughhousing isn't allowed. After that, they all realize Bart got away. Bart decides to sneak home, hiding at every step. When he gets there, he sees the bullies hiding in the backyard. Marge shows up and says Bart's not home yet, but they're welcome to wait. Meanwhile, Bart is hiding, and Shauna shows up to help him. But Bart, annoyed, tells her to go back to Jimbo. She reminds him that he said she deserves better. Bart then decides to take her somewhere else. While the bullies help Marge hang laundry, Bart takes Shauna to the comic book store. After she insults the owner, the clerk calls the bullies to tell them where they are. Jimbo answers and says they're on their way. The store owner and Shauna trade insults over the phone, and she wins. He kicks them out, but not before trying to sell them a collection, only to realize they're already gone. Meanwhile, at home, Homer gathers his friends in the living room to discuss the show and solve some mysteries, since they've all seen it. When they start discussing the plot, Homer gets mad. He's only on season 3 and doesn't want spoilers. They keep talking, which stresses him out more. Marge walks in asking for quiet because she's trying to put Maggie to sleep. Homer starts talking about the show to Maggie, and Marge can't take it. She blurts out every spoiler. Homer is devastated and says now he's going to be a failure at marriage too, surprising Marge. The friends, still in the room, start analyzing their relationship. Meanwhile, Bart and Shauna are hiding in the treehouse, with the bullies searching for them. Lisa appears and says she's been watching the whole time. She offers to help. Shauna talks about Jimbo and how different he is from Bart. Jimbo arrives at the treehouse, and Lisa says Shauna shouldn't pick either of them, she should pick herself. Shauna agrees and tells Bart they wouldn't work out. At that moment, Marge calls Lisa and she says it's the perfect time to go. As they try to leave, Jimbo blocks Bart, but has no idea what to do with him. Inside the house, Homer is still mad at Marge for spoiling the show. She tries to make things right, and Homer goes to close the bedroom window. Outside, he sees Jimbo holding Bart by the legs in the treehouse. He just closes the window, ignores the whole thing, and lies down with Marge to make up. See you next time, folks. I'm out.